All right, first graders, are you ready for Wednesday Science? I guess I should say Wednesday Science and Engineering. Just a little review. Last week, I read you the story Rosie Revere, Engineer, and then you planned and created your own inventions to solve problems. What we will do this week is we will continue engineering, and we're going to do it through a mystery science video this week. And the mystery question from Doug is right here. How do you become a great inventor? So we know how to be an engineer. We know how to invent things and brainstorm and think outside the box, but how can we be great at it? That's what today's mystery is all about. To get started, I would like you to grab your science packet that I sent home a few weeks ago. And if you flip after the Rosie Revere Engineer page, you will see a mystery science worksheet that looks like this. Have this handy. And then after it, it's just a blank piece of paper. You're going to need that as well. So if you want, you can rip both of those pages out, or you can use them from the packet. If you don't have your science packet, there is a copy of this in your lesson, so you can still look at the digital copy and complete your work. While you're looking for those materials, you can pause this video and then press play when you're ready for the mystery.
Hi, it's Doug. When you think of inventions, what kinds of things do you think of? Virtual reality headsets that let you explore anywhere in the world? Cars that can drive on water? Pet robots that can pick up your toys? Well, someone named Max has a question about the inventors who create all of these cool new inventions. Let's give Max a call now.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Max.
I have a question for you. How do you become a great inventor?
That's a great question. It's so fun for me as a grown-up to look back on the things that seemed futuristic to me as a kid. I'd watch shows like Star Trek and see things like cool futuristic doors that automatically opened whenever you got close to them. Hey, we've got that today. Someone invented it. Or computers that respond to voice commands.
Tell me the location of
What?
commander data.
When I was growing up, you couldn't talk to a computer. But look, we've got this now too.
Okay, Google, beam me up.
Okay, energize.
Other things I saw in movies and shows are things that haven't been invented, at least not yet. Things like flying cars. What kinds of inventions do you think we might have once you've grown up?
That's a wonderful starting question. What kinds of inventions do you think we will have when you are an adult? Well, we could start by listing some of the inventions that you guys came up with in last week's lesson. Some of you said at-home weights so that you don't have to go to the gym to work out. A lot of you said robots that clean up after you so that you don't have to clean up. Some of you said flying cars. I hope that's invented one day. That'd be pretty cool. Some of you said machines that do the laundry for you, right? And they put your clothes away and fold them for you. I know another friend came up with a robot that brings you snacks when you're hungry. You guys came up with some cool inventions. Can you think of anything else? Press play when you're ready to move on.
You can probably come up with lots of ideas. Who knows what we'll have? Some amazing things are already being worked on. A robotic arm that does your dishes? Cars that drive themselves? Jetpacks that allow you to fly from one place to another. Still, we don't have any of these things yet. Who will invent those and how? How do you become a great inventor? To figure that out, it's helpful to look at inventions and inventors of the past. Inventors like Katerina Paulus, the inventor of the modern parachute. Or Josephine Cochrane, the inventor of the dishwasher. Or all of the scientists and engineers at NASA who worked together to invent the Saturn V rocket, a rocket powerful enough to send people all the way to the moon. First, any of these inventors have to come up with the idea. While that might seem easy, keep in mind that some of the greatest ideas are sometimes things that no one even thought was possible. Imagine what it was like to be Katerina Paulus. You're going to jump out of a plane or a hot air balloon and land on the ground with your feet? Yes, we can do it, she thought. But it's one thing to come up with an idea. It's another thing to actually build something that works. How do inventors do that? If you've not thought much about this before, it can be tempting to think, well, people who invent things are just geniuses. They wake up one morning with a brilliant idea in their head and then they build the thing and presto, it works. Now we have a new invention. Nothing could be further from the truth. The story of almost every invention is filled with what looks like trying and failing again and again and again. The scientists and engineers who invented rockets weren't trying to get these rockets to blow up, but they knew that building a huge rocket wasn't something that had ever been done before. And rocket fuel? It's really explosive. Figuring out how to control the amount of rocket fuel getting burned, that's something that NASA could only learn by trying. Each time one of these tests failed, they carefully figured out why and made improvements to their design. By being willing to try again and again, and each time carefully observing and learning from their mistakes, eventually they figured it out. And we've got rockets that have taken people all the way to the moon. The history of inventions is full of stories just like this. People coming up with new ideas for things, building something, trying and failing, but each time learning from their mistakes so that they can get it right. Not every idea makes it to the finish line. The idea of rocket-powered ice skating might be a good example. Or this automatic ketchup dispenser. But one thing is for sure. If we're going to have new inventions in the future, it'll only be possible if there are inventors who dare to dream big and aren't afraid of trying again and again and again, each time learning from their mistakes. In fact, many of these inventions of the future will be made by one of you watching this. That's all for this week's question. Thanks, Max, for asking it.
So it sounds like we just learned something very similar to what we learned in Rosie Revere Engineer, that when you're inventing something, you shouldn't give up, and that it's hard to be an engineer. It's hard to create something that nobody else has ever created before. But the challenge is to try and try again, and you just might get it to work. So with today's follow-up activity, I want you to keep that in mind. It doesn't work the first time, or even the second or the third, to keep trying and trying again.
In today's activity, you're going to see if you can create an invention to save Bobby. Bobby may just look like an ordinary bobby pin, but he makes a good model of an actual person, something you can experiment with without anyone getting hurt. What you want to do is figure out how to save Bobby from falling. For example, if he were going to jump out of an airplane, how could you make sure he reaches the ground safely? A classic parachute is one way to slow down someone's fall, but is it the only way? See if you can invent a new kind of parachute. We can call it the Bobby Dropper, a device made of paper that will slow him down as he falls. Now remember, almost no invention works on the first try. Not only is that okay, it's how you'll improve your idea. It'll be important to try something, make changes, and try again, each time learning from what doesn't work. I'll show you how to get started, step by step.
All right, before Doug walks us through this activity, you will want all your materials ready. You should have that blank piece of paper that I told you to grab a couple minutes ago that was inside of your science packet. And then Doug also told us that we would need a bobby pin for our Bobby Dropper. Now, I know that not all of us might have bobby pins, so something else that might work for this project is a safety pin, right? A clothespin, or even a paper clip. So why don't you go try to find these things and then press play when you're ready.
First, try to make a bobby dropper that doesn't slow Bobby down as he falls. To do that, slide a bobby pin onto a piece of paper like this. Then, carefully crumple the paper around the bobby pin like this. You've now made what we can call a fall fast.
All right, go ahead and try this step. And remember, you don't have to use a bobby pin. You can use something else.
Stand up and hold your fall fast up as high as you can. Then, drop the fall fast on the floor. If you've crumpled it well, it will do exactly what its name says. It falls fast. This is just about the worst bobby dropper there is. It falls fast straight to the ground and lands with a crash. Go to the next step to start thinking of a better one. Here are some ideas of things that float or fall slowly.
So boys and girls, what do you notice about these things? Look at the way that they're shaped, if they have any curves or cutouts. Right? You think air can go through it easily as it's falling? Looking at these pictures, you might get some ideas about the shape that you want your bobby dropper to be in. All right, well, now that you know the general goal for today's engineering activity, you are going to take the rest of science today to go ahead and play around with your bobby dropper. Before you do that, I want to show you what you will be doing with this worksheet. You will be using this worksheet to record how your tests of your bobby dropper are going. Up top, you'll see that here's some ideas. So while you are thinking about the shape of your bobby dropper, could you maybe mimic some of these ideas? And then you also want to record what happens. Test it out 1, 2, 3 times. Did your bobby dropper go straight down? Did it curve? Or did it do a loop-de-loop? You're going to circle whatever happens for each test run that you do. And please glue this into your science journal when you are done investigating. So since we have vacation next week, I am not going to require you to show me what your bobby dropper looks like or to show me your results, but if you want to, you definitely can. And we will talk more about these bobby dropper parachutes when we get back from vacation. So I hope that you guys have fun with your test runs. Bye.